I'm Pete Cook. I'm from Maine, and you're listening to CHMA.
Get ready for the sound of the underground. Every Friday night at 10, CHMA 106.9 FM brings you The Drop, live. Melodic and progressive house music performed live off the floor by Smiley Myris. Hypnotic rhythms, deep grooves, and sounds you can feel deep into your chest. Tune in on the radio and watch it unfold live on TikTok. This is The Drop Live, Fridays at 10.
The time is 9 o'clock and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, this is Clinton Davis with your CHMA local news. For today's story, residents filled the Sackville United Church on Sunday to hear expert perspectives on the proposed gas and diesel plant planned for the Chignecto Isthmus. But first, from now until the end of November, EOS, Eco Energy, and the Tantramar Wetlands Center are collecting donations for a big holiday thrift swap next month. Items can be dropped off at the Wetlands Center inside Tantramar Regional High School on Main Street. Organizers say they're looking for clothes, jewelry, shoes, or other thrift items in good condition, along with food donations. Now, here's the fun part. Donors will receive 1 ticket per item, 5 tickets per donated box or bag, and 1 ticket for each food donation. Then on December 12th and 13th, come back and those tickets can be used to shop at the Community Holiday Thrift Store. For more info, email Janine at climatechange@eosecoenergy.com. And now for our feature story.
Standing room only today.
This past Sunday, about 125 people filled the Sackville United Church. They were there for the second of 2 community info sessions on the proposed Chignecto Isthmus power plant NB Power has planned to have built through a partnership with American company Pro Energy's Canadian branch. Neither representatives from NB Power or Pro Energy were visibly present, but speakers shared what the utility has said about the project and offered their own analysis of environmental, financial, and health impacts. Residents heard NB Power's stated rationale secondhand through presenter summaries. Speakers said the utility describes the facility as a fast-start peaker plant meant to help meet winter electricity demands on days when wind or solar output drops. Beverly Gingrass is the executive director of the Conservation Council of New Brunswick. She told the audience how NB Power frames the project.
These turbines, these jet turbines, can turn on really, really fast. When the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining, they can use this plant as a peaker plant. So only when maybe the energy is really needed, they can flip the switch and turn on this power. And when it's not needed, they can turn it off. So that's how they're advertising. Do I believe it? No, I don't believe it.
Gingrass then focused on the environmental footprint.
8% of New Brunswick's annual emissions would be just from this one plant.
She also raised concerns about groundwater withdrawal, as the plant is said to use 7 million liters of water a day in a time when New Brunswick is experiencing a drought. She too noted the project would be owned and operated by an American firm.
They've contracted a U.S. firm, Pro Energy, to build and own this. It's a U.S. firm. They're contracting to build and own it. I think that's an important part to remember. Is we're using 20th century technology to fight a 21st century problem. Bottom line, batteries do everything RID claims to do, but faster, cleaner, with no long-term climate costs.
Afterwards, economist Gregor McCaskill from Gardner Pinfold presented. He reviewed what NB Power has filed with regulators and outlined long-term costs to ratepayers.
And the EUB says that will be north of probably over $50 million per year for 25 years. Now, over the 25 years, that's $1.25 billion.
He explained what that number meant for the public.
So that's about $3,400 per household over the 25 years, or about $136 a year per household. Okay.
He told residents fuel costs would add significantly more.
At today's natural gas prices, it would be about 90 to 210, $211 million per year. The gas cost of this is more than the capital cost.
Retired family doctor, Dr. Harold Popma, a member of the Canadian Association of Physicians for the Environment, or CAPE, spoke about the health effects of gas combustion. He explained how pollutants behave differently after entering the body.
You put volatile organic compounds into your lungs, and yes, they are carcinogenic. They can cause cancer. They can cause bronchitis. They can cause asthma in children. They can cause birth defects. They can interfere with our DNA, with our genetic. They can interfere with childbirth, with childhood, with pregnancy.
Popma also told the room that the responsibility doesn't fall on NB Power alone.
I call on all of us, clean up your act too. Try and reduce the demand. Don't be wasteful. Conserve. If possible, reduce your electricity use. Be good stewards.
Audience questions focused on groundwater, emissions, fracked methane, long-term climate obligations, and the regulatory review process. Residents also asked which level of government had authority over the proposed site. Tantramar Mayor Andrew Black, who had been in attendance, stood up and told the room the municipality does not control permitting for this location because it sits in former local service district territory. So what happens next? The project is undergoing a provincial environmental impact assessment. NB Power will also appear before the Energy and Utilities Board in late February. Coalition Coordinator Lisa Griffin encouraged residents to participate in both processes.
Petitions aren't as powerful as writing or phoning your MLA. That, or the minister, or the premier's office. They really, really do pay attention to those letters. If people don't write in about something, they assume no one cares. And so we've really been trying to push people to contact their MLAs.
For more information, including links to emails and the Coalition website, visit chmafm.com. For CHMA News, I'm Clinton Davis.
Hello everyone, my name is Craig and you're all listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And here is your CHMA Atlantic update for Tuesday, November 25th. RCMP in New Brunswick say 5 people have been charged in a double homicide. The bodies of 78-year-old Bernard Saunier and 74-year-old Rosemarie Saunier were found inside their home in Dieppe in 2019, and police have ruled their deaths as homicides. Police say one man has already been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and further investigation found that the suspect, along with 3 other men and a woman, allegedly conspired to kill the couple's son. The 5 suspects are charged with conspiracy to commit murder, and a motive is unclear at this time. The New Brunswick government is helping a company that supports patients with chronic illnesses and rare diseases to create up to 30 new jobs by the end of 2027. The province is providing up to $230,000 in the form of a payroll rebate to support the creation of these new full-time positions at Moncton-based BioScript Solutions. The government says the expansion is expected to generate more than $4 million in direct provincial GDP. Recruitment is already underway. The Nova Scotia government has approved an environmental assessment for a wind project in Guysborough County. The Sapuktuk Wind Project was approved to move forward by the Minister of Environment and Climate Change and is set to begin construction in late 2026. It is expected to generate 432 megawatts of electricity from 54 wind turbines that will be approximately 221.7 meters long. Electricity from the wind will eventually be used to power Everwind's green hydrogen and ammonia facility in Point Tupper. Police in Cape Breton have charged a man with second-degree murder following an investigation into a suspicious death northwest of Sydney. Early on Sunday, Cape Breton Regional Police responded to a call to help a woman in medical distress at a home in Hillside Boulardre. A 40-year-old man from Sydney Mines who knew the victim was arrested at the scene, and the woman died later in hospital. Police say they believe the case is an isolated incident and there is no threat to public safety. The Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador will take part in a flag-raising ceremony today to mark the start of the annual Purple Ribbon campaign. The event is also known as 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. Premier Tony Wakeham will be joined by Helen Conway Otterheim, the province's Minister for Women and Gender Equity, and those who have lost loved ones to gender-based violence. A public proclamation signing ceremony will take place in the main lobby of the provincial legislature in St. John's. And finally, the town of Cornwall in PEI is set to double its water supply with a new water storage tower. Councillor Corey Stevenson told CBC that the project was needed thanks to the growth Cornwall has seen in recent years. The new tower will total just over $5 million, with the cost total share across all levels of government. The tower is not intended as a replacement for the current tower and should be fully functional around the end of next year. And that is your CHMA Atlantic update. Be right back with your weather.
Hey there, I'm Eric, and you're listening to CHMA on 106.9 in Sackville, New Brunswick.
Thanks for that, Eric. Be sure to tune in to Eric 11 to 12 weekdays. And here is your weather for today. Mainly cloudy today, 30% chance of flurries early this morning. Wind becoming west 20 kilometers an hour this afternoon, a high of +4. Wind chill -11. Tonight, mainly cloudy with the wind west 20 becoming light this evening and a low of 0. For Wednesday, the 26th, cloudy with periods of rain beginning in the morning. Risk of freezing rain later in the morning. Rainfall about 5 to 10 millimeters. Wind becoming east 20, gusting to 40 in the afternoon, a high of +5. Periods of rain on Wednesday night with a low of +5. Cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and a high of 11 on Thursday. Clear with a low of -2 on Thursday night. And sunny with a high of +4 on Friday. Friday night, clear with a low of -5. For Saturday, November 29th, a mix of sun and cloud, high of -1. Cloudy periods coming in on Saturday night with a low of -10. Sunday, cloudy periods, 60% chance of flurries, high of -2. Flurries or rain showers on Sunday night and a low of -1. And for the very first day of December 2025, showers with a high of +5 next Monday. And the quick walk-in showed that it was nice out. The current temperature is coming in at -1, but felt pretty good. It was definitely jacket and scarf kind of covering up kind of weather, but it was quite lovely, as they say. And a very pleasant day. Here is Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
The end of week 12 in the NFL happened last night in Northern California. The San Francisco 49ers pull out a sloppy one against the Carolina Panthers. They win 20-9 despite 4 Brock Purdy interceptions, and that moves their record to 8-4 on the season. In the NHL last night, we had all sorts of action with the Tampa Bay Lightning shutting out the Philadelphia Flyers at home. Devils get by the Red Wings 4-3 in Newark. A 3-2 victory for the Rangers at home in MSG over the Blues 3-2. Capitals 5-1 victory over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Panthers lighten the lamp a whole bunch. They defeat the Nashville Predators 8-3 on the road. It was a 5-1 victory for the Utah Mammoth. And the Ottawa Senators lose in Los Angeles to the Kings, 2-1 final there. In the NBA last night, it was your Toronto Raptors getting their 8th victory in a row. 110-99 victory at home against the visiting Cleveland Cavaliers, meaning that the Raptors remain in second place in the Eastern Conference because the Detroit Pistons defeated the Indiana Pacers on the road 122-117, meaning that was the Pistons' 13th consecutive victory, moving them to 15-2 on the season and having the second best record in the NBA. In other action, a New York City battle saw the Knicks defeat the Nets 113-110 at Barclays Center. It was the Heat by 4 over the Dallas Mavericks 106-102. The Denver Chicken Nuggets, they defeat the Memphis Grizzlies down in Tennessee 125-115. Trailblazers beat the Bucks in Milwaukee 115-103 for the Portland squad. New Orleans gets their third victory of the season, defeating the Chicago Bulls at home 143-130. Rockets over the Suns in Phoenix by 22 114-92. Warriors all over the visiting Utah Jazz 134-117 final in San Francisco. And finally, it took overtime for the Sacramento Kings to outlast the Minnesota Timberwolves 117-112.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary. Well, technically, James, Brian's show starts at 7:30, but he does a great music bit and then starts talking about the sports at 8:30. So we should update that a little bit, but just to let you know, dear listener, Mondays at 7:30, Brian Nielsen joins us, and Kimmy for the rest of the week jumps in at 7:30, and I am continually throughout the week jumping on at 8:30 with Brian Nielsen to do the sports update, and then I keep things going till about 13 minutes from now, around 9:30, when I peace out and make way for the rest of the day. Right around now, we do some community updates, so let's go in and take a quick look. We like to check on the municipality's social media because if there's road closures and things, they're going to be the first ones to mention it. Well, technically, those folks with the road closures, we do check 511, and it's about to get busy on, is it? No, maybe it's 211. We'll check. It's not the season for road closures just yet, but there is one today. Please be advised that York Street between Main Street and Lansdowne will be closed on Tuesday, November 25th. That is today, right now, from 8 a.m. until noon. So it's 9:17, so it is closed, and it'll be closed till noon. And that is to do some road repairs, presumably because of all the construction down there, but I don't know. That is just speculation. But they will have a tour in place during that time. And and it's actually not that easy to go because you can't go up is it Willow Lane, that side road that's been, it's still there. I guess I haven't done that. I guess you'd have to go in through that little alleyway in the apartment to get to the park to go up that road. But probably you're just going to go around Main Street up to Salem, that other side. And they also want you to know, but there's get that season feeling going. On December 6th, they're going to be holding a wreath making workshop at the Visitor Information Center, and that's going to happen at 1 o'clock. It's $40, and they ask that you register in advance, and you can do that at tantmarnb.com/programs. And they're going to do some wreath making. It's going to be a cozy afternoon by the Waterfowl Park, and they're trying to spark your creativity by learning the art of wreath making. This is a low-waste event. I laugh because every now and then my Newfoundland comes out, and it just came out in full force trying to say the word wreath, because that's not an easy one for the Newfies. This event is a low-waste event. A wreath, rings, tools, local greenery, and some natural accent items and hot chocolate will be provided. But you have to bring a mug and a ribbon of your choice. And they're also sending out a note of thanks to some donors that are contributing to the Grab a Seat campaign that's happening at the TVMCC, the old Tantramar Civic Center. They're giving a big shout out to Catalyst Consulting Engineers, Mark Estabrooks, the Sackville Rod and Gun Club, the Tantramar Electric Limited, Brunswick Fur, and in the memory of David E. Acton, who have all purchased 10 seats for supporting the ongoing costs of the Tantramar Civic Center, and that program is continuing, so you can also do that if you'd like to sponsor a seat at the TVMCC. You can reach out to tantmarnb.com and get more information. And finally, they want you to know about the Letters to Santa. They have a box, and Misty is available to help at the lobby, and they want you to be sure that you include your child's name and full mailing address. Letters are accepted until next week, December 5th. All right. And let's dip out of the news segment for Tuesday, November 25th, and I'll be right back with some music for you.
Hi, I'm Manly Liu, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
Have you ever wanted to handle your own bike repairs? Well, now is your chance. Join Basil, the owner of the Bike Specialist in Amherst, for a 3-hour hands-on bike maintenance workshop. You'll start with the basics, then enroll into a guided practical session where you'll work in small groups to practice real repairs. This workshop is happening on November 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. at St. Anne's Church Hall on 65 British Settlement Road East. It costs $40 to come, and participants can be 16 or older, although participants aged 16 to 18 must attend with a parent and or guardian. Spaces are limited, so get your spot now by using the link on the community calendar at chmafm.com.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantjamar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com. And thanks for staying tuned in. It is 9:22. I've been your host, James Anderson, with you since 8:30, and I've got some music lined up to take you into the 10 o'clock spot and the rest of your day. Let's do a quick schedule check, as I am apt to do these times just after the news comes out, because these last couple of weeks of November, getting into early December, there's a lot of great programming, and I strongly suggest that you check it out, because there will be about a 3-week break. We checked it out, and it's going to be about a 3-week break of a lot of our programmers. They're taking some much-needed holiday breaks, and we were very proud to have such an incredible roster of talent this fall. It's been absolutely amazing. It was a surprise to us to see all the new show applications come in, but a bigger surprise were we have a new trend of people returning and taking breaks and returning and coming back. So that's a great thing, because we want to encourage that. It's just because you sign up for a radio show, it's not forever. You can take breaks. It's fine. And we encourage it. It was really nice to see a very strong contingency of our volunteer come back in full force in September. If you were still interested in getting a radio show, there's a couple spots. We haven't heard from Moving to the Woods in a while. It's been about 8 weeks. So we're going to send out one more note just to see about that time slot on Tuesday night. But let me tell you, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock is a pretty hot time slot. If you were looking to do a radio show, that's one of, and it's at a time when not a lot of applications are coming in right now, because we don't do a push. And we probably will be doing a push just to remind folks that they can still get involved in January. If you were a keen radio maker, an 8 p.m. Tuesday time slot would be pretty hot. And it also comes after Selective Memory, so you'll be able to snag some of their listeners as well. And we all know Selective Memory is the hottest show on the Voice of the Marshes, and that is with Brian and John Nielsen, Tuesday nights at 7. Let's take a quick look at that Tuesday schedule. We have coming up, we have Stefan Christoph with Free City Radio at 10 a.m. That's coming out of Montreal. And Stefan does interviews each week, generally political and social conscious interviews that are very, very interesting, and puts a lot of work into it. Has been doing it for a long time, and every show is very intriguing. Eric Gohill is 11 to 12. Siley Sringapore up from 12 to 1. At 1 p.m., Democracy Now! Tuesday brings in Random with Dave and Louisa at 2 p.m. Drive Time Show with Craig Mavasa coming in at 4. Maya Noel up with Live at 5 from 5 to 6. As I just mentioned, Selective Memory with Brian and John Nielsen at 7 p.m. Moving to the Woods, probably not going to happen at 8 p.m., but there's still time. And that is with Teresa and Steven. And if you're missing it, I just wanted to remind you that they still have episodes archived in the on-demand section. So that's a great place to find their shows, and they are really good shows. 9 p.m. brings 16 Cassettes with Brooke Hennigar, and Noise with Adam Porter at 10 p.m. And also just want to send out a reminder that you can always look at chmafm.com on the front page, but also on the music section for all of the recent playlists from our volunteer programmers. That gets published there as well as soon as they do it, but usually they'll do it during the show, just shortly after their show. All right, I am going to step out for the day because I have to run off to a very exciting news meeting. I'm going to be it's our regular local news meeting, and it's going to be with Katie, Clinton, and Lara, and myself, and it's our one weekly time that we hang out and talk about all the exciting things about news. So I'm going to go and do that, but I have some great music picked up for you. I have a track from an artist that there's a story. Al Nickel is a Montreal artist and is doing great. But I got a phone call last week. Obi, who did the punk rock radio hour here for about 4 to 5 years, he happens to be my son, was also a person that lives in Montreal right now and is a music maker, and is said that he picked up a gig to drive Al Nickel and Mike Furstack, who a lot of Sackville folks know from Snail House, but even just as Mike Furstack alone, because is very deeply involved with the Sappy Fest team. Everything to do with Sappy Fest, comes every year and performs very often, if not every year. So Mike was in the group, and they had a really great trip out to Toronto from Montreal with the full band. Had some Nashville folks in there as well, so they had lots of colorful conversations about all things music in Montreal and Nashville, and Ope had a great time. And they played a show at the Sound Garage, which I think it's not new, but it's one of those places on Geary Street in downtown Toronto that has developed in the past 10 years. So I checked out this music and noticed that CHMA, we had already had an Al Nickel track in rotation. So this is Al Nickel out of Montreal, and I believe that Mike Furstack sits on this track as well, probably playing guitar, probably also singing a little background vocal. This is Marrowbone. I'm also going to play another Toronto, not another, but a Toronto artist, because the others were all Montreal folks, but this is Kevin Hearn and the Persuasions with Love is the Key. And I have Alexander the Four with This Will Do, some Bella Glasso with The Cut, and Danger Mouse with Wonder, which will take you pretty close to Free City Radio at 10 a.m. Take care. Have a great day. I've been your host, James Anderson, and you've been listening to CHMA 106.9 FM, the voice of the Marshes.